I'm going to have to try and keep this all in my brain. I might have to make some notes for myself because I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to remember it. Where do I look? Don't look in the lens. Okay, let's get started. Right, let's do the video. Let's just do it. Oh, now isn't that just a little bit better? I'm using a different camera today, so I don't actually know where I'm looking. So hopefully I look like I'm kind of engaging with you. Welcome back to my channel. Now my channel is still pretty new. I've been really enjoying doing lots of quick and easy recipes. I always put in nutritional information, so carbs, fats, protein, caloric content. You're welcome. But of course, I really do understand that this means nothing to you if you cannot decipher nutritional content. I would really like to show you what it all means. I've been a personal trainer and nutritional coach for well over a decade now. Yay me! Forgive me if I sound a little bit blunt when I say that most people I come across haven't got a clue what this actually means, nor how it actually applies to their body composition and their weight loss goals. 95% of my clientele are women who want to lose weight. Also women who tend to make their emotional choices based on how they feel about the food they're eating. Or they pull a caloric number from a magazine, or they outright just try and avoid all food groups altogether and try and survive off of air. Women, we are a complicated lot. This being the case, I thought I'd put together a little nutritional series explaining the very fundamentals and the very basics of nutritional science. Because of my demographic and so the people who I work with, I'm focusing on making this series with weight loss in mind and also making it very female focused. 95% of my client base are women and mums and busy and hectic. I've been debating with myself for a little while now about whether I should really geek out and make this very nutritionally science-backed and share research papers to back up what we're talking about here. But I do want to keep this nice and simple. A, because editing that stuff takes a lot of time, and B, because I want to keep it within the scope of your own interest. If you are interested in having a little bit more evidence-based data to back up anything that I'm talking about, do leave me a comment below. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep it very, very simple. If you are very au fait with nutrition and you know your proteins from your fats and your carbs and you understand calories and stuff, this series or this video is not for you. So I'll see you later and I hope you enjoy some of my workout videos. But if you are somebody who has spent the best part of their recent life chasing a number on the scales, or on the 50th diet you've done this year, or count random numbers of calories because a magazine told you, this is the video for you. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to this channel if you find it helpful, because it really helps my channel to grow. Now, how many times have you been chasing that perfect answer, looking for that perfect diet, pill or tonic? There are so many little sexy things that you can do out there, detox diets and stuff like that. And sure, there are some really amazing protocols that you can use to help you achieve your goals. I'm not poo-pooing any of those. They can be extremely useful tools. But none of these tools are particularly useful unless you understand the principles behind them and the fundamentals and basics of energy expenditure. What you do need to know is the deeply boring, unsexy fundamentals of fat loss. Trust in the science behind these fundamentals and ditch the idea of a mystical unicorn answer. What you need to do is understand the things you eat and how we burn energy. So today we are going to strip things right back, and you might want to get a pen and paper to make some notes. Go on, I'll wait. You're back. So, let's get into this video. Calories. What in the heck are they, actually? Calories, at the very most basic level, are a unit in which we measure the amount of energy there is in the food that we eat. The calories we consume through our food only indirectly provide the body energy. They actually provide the energy to produce the energy bonds to ATP, which is the body's energy currency, as it were. But this opens up a whole big can of worms that you don't really need to actually know. ATP is not something that we can really particularly control, but what we can control is our calorie intake and also our calorie output. Moving on to metabolism and our metabolism. So what does a metabolism mean? Is it fast? Is it slow? Do you even have a metabolism? You do. Metabolism refers to the chemical processes responsible for maintaining basic body function, such as breathing, building cells, digesting food, blinking. Reactions that happen within our body require energy, and the energy that it needs comes from food. Your metabolism is the process by which your body converts what you eat and drink into energy. So look at it as the amount of calories you need to consume in order to maintain these body functions. Metabolism really is more than the number of calories you burn each day just to maintain life. It refers to every single energy producing and every energy using reaction in the body. Your calorie consumption is something that you can directly physically control. The calories we eat and your basal metabolic rate and a few little bits and pieces go with it are the bare bones of managing your weight, increasing your weight, lowering your weight, taking it wherever you want to go. So let's get this straight. Your basal metabolic rate and the calories we consume are the very bare bones of weight loss. It is calories in versus calories out, end of story, period. Now please take note here that I am saying weight loss. Weight loss as a whole, not fat loss. Weight loss and fat loss are two completely separate things. And it's such a bugbear of mine that I will be doing an entirely independent video on the subject of fat loss versus weight loss. But for now, let's keep it nice and simple. Fat loss, weight loss, not the same thing. When it comes to weight loss, your calories entirely matter. Let us look at the calories in versus calories out equation to look at actually what it is that we can control. When it comes to working out our daily caloric needs, we need to look at a few things. Number one being your basal metabolic rate, the energy that you need in order to keep your cells dividing, your heart beating, your lungs pumping, brain thinking, just generally being alive. The next thing that we need to look at, the thermic effect of activity, or the thermic effect of physical activity. This is the calories that would be needed, or the energy that would be needed to fuel your daily activity. So looking at things like your pace of lifestyle, do you have an active job, do you train? And the other thing that we can look at is the thermic effect of food. I don't really take this too much into consideration at all during my equations because it is quite fiddly and not particularly necessary. So in essence, eating some foods burn more calories to go through the digestive process and to utilise it as fuel. We can also look at non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. This is movement that you're not really thinking about. So, picking up your phone, fidgeting, turning the pages of your book, making yourself a cup of coffee, strapping toddlers into car seats, blinking, choosing to take the stairs instead of the lift, things like that. Okay, again, so what does this all mean and how do I take control of it? We need to be really clear on the things that we can actually control. Number one, you can understand where the calories are in the food that we eat. Number two, you can find out your theoretical basal metabolic rate as a start point. Number three, you can manipulate your activity levels. What we were talking before about, thermogenesis of physical activity, that one, yeah. I'm here to help you do just that. I'm going to show you how I work it out anyway. Let's look at point number one. Calories in your food. Where in the Sam heck are they? Your calories in food are found in your macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. The other substance that we like as a society to consume a lot that has a caloric content is alcohol. But because alcohol doesn't have any nutritional value to the body and it can't be used or stored, it is not classed as a macronutrient. Every macronutrient has a very different role within the body and how it functions and what we essentially look like, our body composition. But when it comes to weight loss, as we said before, it is calories in versus calories out. So to gain weight, one needs to exceed their daily calorie allotment. As well as to lose weight, one would have to undereat a calorie allotment, known as being in a deficit or a surplus. And it really is as simple as that in a healthy system. The balance of our calories and the breakdown of where we're getting these calories from the macronutrients, does have a direct impact on our body composition, so our lean muscle mass, to fat ratio and our health. I will be doing another video breaking down the macronutrients and going into a little bit more detail about things that you might want to consider when you're putting together your diet. And just a heads up, there's no demon macronutrient at all. Carbs are fine, fat's fine, and protein won't make you look like a bodybuilder. For now, all you really need to know are the following. Protein has 4 calories per 1 gram. Carbohydrate also has 4 calories per 1 gram. And fat has a larger caloric load at 9 calories per gram. And then we've got alcohol, which has 7 calories per gram. Things we can control, number 2. Finding out what total energy needs we require. When it comes to BMR, there are so many interfering factors that can raise it, suppress it, generally manipulate it. So we're looking at conditions like autoimmune diseases, whether we've been crash dieting, whether we're in a diseased state, and even things like temperature, just to name a few things. So we're just going to keep this really simple by looking at what is ideal. Things are rarely ever ideal, but it's a start point. There are so many sites out there that have macronutrient calculators and how to work out your daily calories. But I'm a pen and paper girl and I do it all myself using the Harris-Benedict formula. I'm going to show you working through a process looking at women and using the equation for women. Women can't generally eat as much as men.
That is so unfair, I hate you!
But it's true. Men tend to have a higher caloric need, so they have a different equation. Today we're just going to work with the female equation. I just bought this and I'm dying to use it. Oh wow, okay. Yeah. Can you see it? It's huge. Let's do a little case study here. We've got a female who's 22 years old. She's 170 centimeters tall. She's like 95 kilos. I can work out her daily needs as being 1,000, I feel like such a school teacher, 758 calories. That is for our BMR. Things that we can manipulate. Point number 2 is activity levels. So remember we were talking earlier about the thermic effect of exercise or activity? We need to take into consideration her activity levels and just generally how active she is in her day-to-day life. And then what I'm going to do is I'll multiply this ideal number by another ideal number and I'm going to insert them here to save me writing them all out on a clipboard right now. Let's just say that this lady is completely sedentary, an office job, but she does Zumba once a week. I would calculate this by lower numbers, and that is going to work out her total daily energy needs. I'm going to write it down because I'll forget, but I'll probably put it here somewhere. 2,110 calories per day. We're looking at this as being her total daily energy needs to maintain where she is, her current weight, given her lifestyle, exercise activity levels, and her basal metabolic rate. So these are the things that we can control. We know if she wants to lose weight, she will need to eat less than 2,010 calories, 2,110. To gain weight, she would have to eat more than that. Given that she's 170 centimeters and 95 kilos, we can presume that she might like to lose a few pounds. We would then reduce these calories to bring her into a deficit. The end. Yeah, no, that's not the end at all. See, the thing is, what I've just told you is a bunch of numbers, idealistic numbers that we've worked out using formulas and different equations. Actually, they don't really mean anything. This is where things get a little bit more complicated, and this is where hiring a good coach, one that actually understands the fundamentals of energy expenditure and the laws of conservation of energy, will pay off in spades. That's what I do for a living. This just gives us a really great start point. It's very, very rare that we get to be ideal all the time. Somebody might have been crash dieting for a long time. She might be under-eating quite a lot. She might be overeating quite a lot. This lady who is 95 kilos, 170 centimetres, presume that she's probably carrying a lot more weight than she ought to be at a healthy weight. So it might be that just reducing her calories back to her maintenance will be enough to elicit some weight loss. But what happens if maybe she has been chronically dieting for a long time and under eating and trying to survive off of air and cutting out carbohydrates? Then this number might be way too high. A good coach needs to take into consideration where the client's at. People aren't just numbers, are they? We're not just slabs of meat. We're like walking, breathing, complicated things that have very big emotional responses to our food.
Oh man, that's good.
We need to manipulate calories properly. I'm going to wind it up there for today. This is just a little start point to my nutrition series. If you did like this video, don't forget to press the like and also subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and another thing, if you want videos carrying on this subject, don't forget to leave me a comment. I'm always looking for content to make, so that would be fabulous. I'll see you later. I felt like a school teacher. I really wish I was a school teacher. That'd be a really fun job. Actually, no, scratch that. Stressful job, could you imagine? Oh, dealing with parents all the time. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Bye!